Thank you so much for joining today. We're here to discuss the Resolution 22-0235 ordinance of estimates for fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2023. And so today we're welcoming the Mayor's Office of Minority and Women-Owned Small Business Development. So Mr. Taylor, I'll turn it over to you to introduce anyone you have here today and then get started with your presentation.
Sure. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone, and council members and of the Ways and Means Committee. I have a couple people from our staff here, Ms. Myra Blanchard, who has been here for many, many years, and then I work very closely with Deputy Mayor Ted Carter and Mr. Stubblefield. So my name is Paul Taylor. I'm the director of the Mayor's Office of Small and Minority Business, and I want to just sort of quickly describe a little bit about what it is that we do and how that differs a little from the Mayor's Office of Minority, actually the Minority Women and Business Opportunity Office, because that's always been a question. So I provided a comparison. I think I just sent it to you all that sort of outlines the differences. So my office operates 4 different essential centers. One of them being the Small Business Resource Center, which is located at 3000 Druid Park Drive. At Druid Park Drive, we provide technical assistance to small business, and by that I mean one-on-one counseling. We provide a number of other services like classes for business development and growth for entrepreneurs and small businesses. We also manage a portal, which is a small business portal called the Baltimore Source Link. It's an online resource for small businesses, and they have 24/7 access to information about starting a business, operating a business, what agencies they may need to call if they need help with any of the issues that are going on. And they can also ask questions directly of us. That portal, currently we have about 7,000 small businesses that have connected with that portal and on a regular basis are asking questions, and we're following up with those with them. It is also part of a CRM database that we maintain with about 20,000 people in there that we communicate with on a regular basis. The other work that we have connected is the Baltimore Main Street. Many of you are familiar with them. We have 8 active Main Streets in Baltimore City currently. And that program is a rich program to develop community development activities in the city. We also have we manage 2 federal contracts. One is the CARES Act, which is specifically around COVID. MBDA, Minority Business Development Agency, a federal agency, provide us with that contract to help small businesses who are pivoting, who need support as they begin to reopen their business. We also manage something else with MBDA. Is this going in and out? We also manage another contract with MBDA called the Advanced Manufacturing. And with advanced manufacturing, what we're trying to do there, and we're having some success, is to provide an ecosystem for manufacturing development. There are quite a few manufacturers in Baltimore, food manufacturing, parts. Some of them are making 3D printing parts. It's very significant work that's happening here in Baltimore. So we're doing those things in Baltimore. So let me just give you a few things that come out of that. So here you see counseling. We have year to date, we have 682 people that we have provided counseling services to, and that means not just one-on-one, but some of them may be seminars and classes that we've done. We've been doing a lot of online classes so far. We also, this next number is one where we sort of took, since the pandemic started, 1,700 59 people that we've been supporting in some way, and those are people that have come in needing help, needing navigations to some of the grants and programs that have been done through BDC, through a number of other private corporations, and with the city. Then also we have, I just broke down between, in this recent number, the year-to-date number, how many females. As you can see, it's almost 3 times as many female small businesses as there are male. So that's very, very active activity. We've also provided assistance with grants and a number of other contract opportunities. So that $41 million that you see there is actually more around some of the grants that we've provided and the contract opportunities that have happened through some of the federal contract opportunities through the MBDA program that we have. And then we've also worked with a number of companies and navigated them towards bonding and some small grants that we've provided. So that in that $2 million number, that's been in that number. A couple of initiatives that we're working on, we have a business development outreach program where we're really trying to touch all of the minority small businesses in the city of Baltimore. So far we've touched over 2,000, but we're making some efforts to reach more. We also have, as I told you about our main streets, there's a couple of initiatives that we have going there, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So with the Main Streets program, there's a couple of highlights, as you see here. We've changed the ancient logo that we had, so you see a more modern, up-to-date logo. We've hired a new program coordinator, Ms. Charlene Nader. She's a wonderful addition to our team. And I didn't mention, but one of the other significant members of my team is Mr. Sean Stinnett. Mr. Stinnett is the Main Street coordinator. He's also my deputy in the office. And so we've done a couple of things, like we've gotten some additional support from CDBG, $100,000 there. We have done some leadership training with the National Main Streets as we begin to think about and plan some efforts to really revitalize some of the commercial districts that we've been working in. We also have some work that we're doing with partnerships with the Visit Baltimore, the new Chamber of Commerce. We have a number of things going on in that area. Some goals for 2023, an expansion of 1 or 2 main streets, and we're currently working with a couple of different communities with that right now. We're also looking at starting an affiliate program. An affiliate Main Street is one where you, prior to onboarding a Main Street, you may bring in a community and provide some support and help them grow so that they can become a full-fledged Main Street area. We have several events that we are participating in, not least of those the CIAA, and yay for our community and our economic development team who've been able to bring in another 2 years of that. We have some training going on. So these are just some of the highlights that we have going on with Main Streets. I'm going to stop there and take any questions of anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. I'll first start, I have a few questions. So I'll first start one with, could you share the number of MBE women-owned contractors that you all have in your database that you mentioned to date?
Sure. So, and these are certified?
Yes.
So the number that I use is the same number because we don't actually we don't provide the certification, which is one of the differences between the two, but there are about 1,580 some certified companies in the database now.
1,500?
Yes.
Okay. And so with regard to like community engagement strategies, I would assume that the 1,500 go throughout the entire city, or?
It's the city and the surrounding counties, but my database is much broader than that because we don't have, we talk to any small business that are looking to do business in Baltimore City or in the surrounding areas.
Okay,
yeah.
That works. All right. Any of my colleagues have questions? Okay. Councilwoman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks for all your work for many years for the city.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And I know that you've actually, during COVID also had to shift. Everybody had to shift, and the portal seemed to work well for you in that regard. So I was looking, I'm intrigued by the Associate Main Street program. Excuse me, affiliate program, because we have these very strong main streets here. I have one in my district that graduated. And certainly we have other business districts that might be benefiting from that. Can you talk a little bit about how a group might be, or a Main Street area, not an official Main Street, but a Main Street area would get involved in the affiliate program?
Sure. So one of the things that I think is important is that in a Main Street area, or area that we want to support, or we think that there's a possibility to become a full-fledged Main Street, we want to look at, one, the organization that would embed that Main Street, right? We want to make sure that there's a strong organization, community-based organization that is in that community. We also want to make sure that there are enough contiguous businesses in the area so that we can really sort of focus our attention on a particular block or several blocks where the concerns have been, do we have enough community services? Do we have enough city services? Do we have all of the various components? A very active market center or group is also a good way to look at it. One of the things that we've done in some of the conversations we've had with communities is we've actually brought to light the fact that you don't always have to be a Main Street. There are other programs. There's an arts district.
Right.
There's the business improvement districts. And some of those districts provide some of the same sort of resources. But what we try to do with Main Street is, one, bring the attention and bring a concentrated effort for community development, especially around commercial districts into that neighborhood. So what we look for is, one, is there a strong organization that exists in that community that we can bring the Main Street's planning effort to help them grow and develop? And then we'd like to see that develop over the next year or so, that they're in the affiliate program, so that we can begin recommending them as a full-fledged Main Street. I mean, the other thing is that when we start talking about an affiliate program, that one is not one that we're supporting financially as we do.
Understood. Right. It's sort of the precursor to.
It is.
Yeah.
But it also gives us an opportunity to say, okay, we need to start budgeting in the future years for another Main Street, because this looks very likely that we'd want to support that.
And I've been, I know all of us, I think, have known Sean for a long time,
yes.
And having him as head of the Main Streets, I think, has been a game changer as well. I mean, he's promoting all of them equally.
Yes.
He comes and visits. He's very much a part of them. So I'm grateful for all of the time that he spends.
Yeah, he's a very busy man.
He spends a lot of time in Waverly, so I'm grateful. And the perk about it is that he gets to eat at all these great places, right?
Yeah. So. He's always complaining about his diet, but he's
not complaining that much. Right. No, I think that's great. So I'm glad that the program is more robust. I would say that we do need to give more financial support to all of our Main Streets. It's just not enough to support the staffing and the marketing, and I think they do work together very well to do some things together, like the Miracle on Main Street, et cetera. But hopefully we can work with Sean on what an increased budget would look like for next year.
We're working with the administration to talk about that.
Yeah, it's super important. We had seen yesterday, or the other day, it's all running together, the magazine from Visit Baltimore, and they had a lot of highlights. Finally, we're getting them to highlight other places in the city other than the harbor. It's really about the Main Streets.
That's right.
So I'm thrilled about it. It looks like also we have some work to do. I know we have 42 vacants along our Main Street. I know exactly the problem and how we're going to deal with it. But I know that we're going to get support from you all as well. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all I had.
Thank you. Councilman Schleifer, did you have any questions? Councilman Dorsey?
No, thank you.
Okay. I did have one question, an additional question. So my office has been receiving kind of concerns about payments for minority contractors. And so can you share how your office kind of helps to assist navigating through that process? And the only reason why I bring that up is because the 1,500, you know, I'm assuming that's a small relative number versus like the larger scale of businesses that you all kind of work with. Most of them all are minority and small, and so one paycheck or one, you know, fund disbursement can really drastically change kind of the landscape of that particular business. And we want to make sure that in the city we're prioritizing our small businesses, we're providing technical assistance, but we're also supporting our small businesses as well. So can you share some strategies that your office has done to kind of like alleviate that long, arduous process? And I know it's not solely your office, but helping small businesses to navigate through that process, I think is really important, and I think you're really good at that.
I'd like to highlight how important that is. I mean, you think about a small business, especially our contractors, you know, and in 60 days, right, they have made payments to their employees 4 times, right? They've paid for their truck or maintenance twice, right? And you can imagine if that goes on 90, 120 days. So the good thing is that the administration, through the Workday program, has really looked at addressing this, how we're going to address it, and make sure that we have a window on how we're getting not only the primes paid, but we're also seeing how the subcontractors are also being paid. And so we've been really paying attention to that. But what we've done as an ombudsman, when situations occur where we find that minority or small businesses are not getting paid on time, we're able to contact, and this is the value of being in the mayor's office, we're able to contact the agency directly, track down the PO or the payment, and make sure that, one, the payment's been paid. Because what you should know is that if a prime contractor has been paid, they are required to pay their subs within 7 days. And so we make sure by tracking that process down that we can address, so we get right down to the PO number and understand who's been paid, who hasn't been paid, and if it's sitting on somebody else's desk, we're able to make that phone call and get some action on that. So that's how we've been able to be helpful, and it's more in the role of an ombudsman.
I appreciate that. One of the main concerns there, I know there have been discussions about the possibility of moving this office, and that's one of the main concerns that I have with regards to, you know, not having this office and the merging of the office, merging of these offices. I want to make sure that given that we have such a substantial small business climate in the city, you all have direct access to the agencies to get these things to get these things done. My concern is that when we begin to change the organizational chart to the point where we're merging offices and not necessarily having the resources or capability or personnel to kind of handle some of these issues. A lot of these issues fall on the backs of the small businesses, and then we'll begin to reduce capital of small businesses within the city.
That's right. So yeah, I just think it's important, and I'm very gratified to know that the administration has really paid attention to that issue. We've brought it up on several occasions. We've worked with the offices that are thinking through the whole process of the merger, and that's been a subject of our conversations.
That's really great to hear. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. As we prepare for our next hearing, we're in recess until 5. We've got Mima. For 5 minutes. Okay. Yep. For transition.